Hello friends and fans of the Frosty Nut, and welcome to another wonderful video on Rowsfire products. Thank you very much for joining me, and here we have the beautiful A112, the weather and lighting panel that has arrived. I'm still waiting for the A111 audio and RMP unit, but it is on its way. It is on its way. So thank you, Rowsfire, for sending me this for review. Now, straight off the bat, the first thing I'm going to point out is when this arrived and I unboxed it, I've already removed it, but there was like a blemish of paint at the top here, and it looked like a blemish to me, and I thought, oh, there's a big paint issue going on there. No, it turns out it's just a plastic cover. These little plastic, like your plastic film on new products that you buy, like phones and stuff like that. So there's just a plastic film over the top to protect the paint from scratches and that during transport and manufacture, I guess. I removed it because I prefer it without, but you don't have to. But if you're one of those people like me, I suppose OCD maybe, feel free to remove it. And just that's fine. All right, now, as far as the unit look and appeal and the feel of it, fantastic. It's weighted, it feels good, it feels solid. It's definitely a very good unit. All of the switches function correctly. All of the buttons, the knobs function correctly. And I'm going to point out with the middle one especially, we go over to weather, and if you look at in the sim, I've got a little bit of lag going on here because of the position of my window. But anyway, if we look at that, if I can zoom in maybe, and maybe I can just straighten this up a little bit for you guys to see. But anyway, there you go. So we look at that, we can rotate it to the weather, turbulence, hazard, and the map. Back to weather, turbulence plus hazard, and weather, turbulence, and weather. So all functions, and the knobs all function correctly. There is a little bit of an oversight issue with the lineup of the maps of the knobs. I'm having a little bit of a power failure issue there. I think it's my hub. I think my hub's on the way out. I might have too many power sources drawing off the hub. I might have to worry about that later on. That's why the light's going on and off. Nothing to do with this unit. It's to do with my hub. So if you can get USB PCI expansions and you got a spare PCI slot in your motherboard, I suggest getting those instead of hubs, because your computer will put out enough power for that. I do have one lying around here somewhere. I have to source it out and put it in my computer for testing, because now we're getting more and more USB stuff. It's drawing constantly from the power. Anyway, so the knob here doesn't line up perfectly like it should. Again, there's the power going off because that's me. But it does come down to the 15 down the bottom here, which is fine. And then, it works fine and it rotates fine. And same with the other one. Now, the other one goes to the minimum, quite okay, rotates around, but it goes past the max, but that's not a worry because in the sim it sits on max, and even if we go to max here, it's just basically going to sit there, so it doesn't matter. And the gain and tilt are not used in the sim anyway at the moment, as far as I'm aware, at least not in 2020. Maybe in 2024 they might be coming apparent. But all the switches that we use, the weather on and off systems and the PWS, the predictive wind shear, and that all functions, so that's fine. The flood lighting works quite nicely. As you can see, the knob rotate in the simulator there, and of course the black backlighting knob, which turns all the backlighting on all the stuff that's connected to backlighting, including the wing stuff, including the MCDU and the wing throttle units. And I'll prove that by rotating the light now, rotating the knob, and you can see that the lights will go off, dim, the SimApp Pro, I think, is not working properly. That's why that is, because I haven't got the throttle unit being recognized through MobiFlight. And I can prove that by just simply going to here in MobiFlight. If I go to settings, go to peripherals. Oh no, it was on, but yeah, that's all right. I think sometimes it's just a little bit of a conflict there with MobiFlight. We'll just stop that again. We'll run that again, just to make sure that it straightens out. Again, this is a hub issue, not a Rowsfire issue. Let's turn that knob down. We can see the backlighting goes off there, like it should. And off. And the Rowsfire, all the Rowsfire stuff, the backlighting's on and the backlighting's off by me just rotating that knob. I think the other stuff needs to be with SimApp Pro at the moment. That's what I don't have running, I don't think. Let me just double check. I don't think I do. No. So let's get SimApp Pro running, and that should solve that issue. SimApp Pro, because I don't always use SimApp Pro with MobiFlight. I generally tend to use just MobiFlight. But as we bring this up, and of course it goes through its various connections and disconnections, I think it's definitely a USB overload going on. It definitely appears to be, but let me see. It's all sorted out. I've got all the things fired up. Okay, let's turn the backlight up. And there we go. We can see it now functioning with the throttle. So a little bit of a glitch there because of my USB, but definitely it's controlling the backlighting from the wing stuff as well. You can see it just comes up a little bit laggy, but it's all going up and down, and the same with the wing auto brake unit. You can see the backlighting coming up, and as I turn the knob it rotates down. You know, that lag is simply because of me and my system. Nothing to do with the Rowsfire, as I say, nothing to do with that. Now, the other thing I'm going to address real quickly is if you've got the 109, you'll notice what they did there was with the lower eCam knob, it also acts as a backlighting knob. So simply to disable that, come down to the bottom where you got the analog config and just turn the MIP LT off. It's on analog config, just turn that off, save your file, and away you go. So now this bit of lag that we're getting is unfortunate for this video, but again, it's to do with my system, I think, is being taxed a little bit. I don't have some of the higher end specs that some of you guys now have, but we're here to talk about the Rowsfire product, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Now, they are moving into Boeing as well, and I do think Rowsfire, they have asked me, do I use Boeing? And I said yes, sometimes I do, fly the PMDG and 737. I just, you know, get around to it. And they have that beautiful Boeing overhead, the B107, that they have worked on, and it's ready for release and going out pre-ordered to customers. So I highly recommend you guys get it if you're a Boeing fan. It's a very nice overhead. Now, it's a little bit more pricey than the Airbus overhead, but there's a lot of stuff on it. It looks really, really good. I'm hoping that they will send me one for review for you guys, as well as any other Boeing stuff that they put out, because you know, it's great for me to be able to play with it, see it, show you guys, and talk about the good, the bad, and all that. So I'm hoping that they will, down the line, send me one of those Boeing overhead panels for review for you guys, and I can test it with the PMDG and so forth. But in the meantime, I will be also buying wing Boeing stuff eventually getting there, but yeah, time and money permitting. But as we're saying, with now I've got the TCAS unit. I've shown you in the last video how to fix the issues with the display and the buttons and everything like that. We've sorted that issue out. Both the weather and the TCAS unit are very nice little units indeed. They function, they do the job, and for the price, you can't go wrong. So I would have preferred the knobs to be white up here. I believe that in the sim that they're grey and black, but they're white here. I still would prefer them to do a resin print knob, which would look just a little bit better, but it does the job. It's a budget simming product for budget simmers, and like Wing and SL3 and Wingflex, they're all good quality. But the thing is, at the end of the day, Wing, as much as I love them, we're waiting months and 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 months for the products that they're talking about. I love Wing's quality, but Wing, please pull your finger out and get the products out to people, because, you know, Rowsfire are beating you. Now, the quality of Rowsfire to Wing may not be as good, but if Rowsfire keep going the way they're going now, they are going to surpass Wing. All it takes is their knowledge. They're learning every day. They're learning to get better. They're learning to produce quality at a budget price. And each time that Rowsfire put out a product, it puts Wing a little bit in the dark, because we're still waiting for these sort of units, the T-Cash and the RMP and weather things from Wing, and Rowsfire have already got them out. At the end of the day, you want something that looks good, functions well, and does the job. And Rowsfire have definitely come through with that. And this is a very nice little 2-in-1 unit that does exactly what it's supposed to do. It's small, compact, and looks good. My only discrepancy is the little black caps on the top here, but I can 3D print those out as well, but it's not a big deal. And the white knobs, but again, that's something that I can print out and do. That's not a big deal. So if you're into your Airbus or you're into Boeing, please make sure that you support Rowsfire, because there are some people that are bagging them and bagging the products and that. And 9 out of 10 times, it's just a configuration issue. Now remember, they're a Chinese company, so their English or their understanding of everything may not be as good, and we expect too much. Don't expect too much. If it's just a configuration issue, I've shown you many times in the past that it's an easy thing to fix. And Rowsfire, once they see my videos and they see the configuration problem, they go ahead, they fix the configuration for the future of their products. So they go off my advice, they go off other team members' advice. We're based all around the world. I'm in Australia, but they're based all around the world, all the team members, and we come together and we find the solutions. Now, if there is a hardware issue, which can happen, but the way that they pack them, the way that they're shipped, is not very likely. Now, they did have issues in the early days with the first Airbus overheads, the A107. It went through a couple of model changes real fast and a couple of other products, but that's the thing. They're learning. They're learning from what feedback they get from people like me and other team members all around the world. They're learning from customer reviews, and they're designing and improving all the time. So continue to support Rowsfire, guys. Continue to support them, because you can get your products, build your cockpit, and it'll look aesthetically pleasing and still function without the high price tag of somebody like Skolaki or other people on the market, And Skolaki products are great, brilliant. I mean, I wouldn't mind Skolaki sending me a pedestal panel or an overhead or something like that, or for review, and testing and all that, because Skolaki makes very, very high end products, and I haven't got any of his products. I wish I did, but he is very, very. Everything is, like, from my understanding, just so perfect. But it's also way, 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 way out of my reach, Whereas this is something that looks good, functions, and will certainly do the job. And same with the T-Cash. So I'm just waiting now for the RMP audio panel to arrive. And again, there's a lot of other makers out there. SL3 sim gauges. Sim gauges do some wonderful stuff. I would hope one day maybe sim gauges will send me some products for review, and maybe we can test those out as well. I'll have to see if anyone out there can suggest sim gauges, send me some stuff. They make some really high quality stuff. But Rowsfire, for the budget simmers and that, like us, you get a great product. It works, it does the job, and you got the support of all the team, and the products come out nice and fast. So that's it for this review. I hope it helps. If you've got any issues, don't hesitate to reach out to either me, the Rowsfire, or the Rowsfire team. Either here, leave a comment, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, or in the Facebook official Rowsfire Facebook page. You know, we're there. Also, I'm in other groups as well. You'll see me pop up in a few other groups as well. But if you got any questions, any concerns, don't start by bagging Rowsfire and say, oh, this product is no good or it doesn't work. Whatever it is, we can resolve it. And probably 9 out of 10 is probably, like I'm experiencing here, it's the USB hub's power. So, you know, you can't have so many things drawing so much power from a USB hub that's putting out not enough power. The best way is the onboard PCI USB expansion cards. If you've got a spare PCI slot, I'm going to try that, find one later on. I've got one around here somewhere, put it in, and we're going to do that, because the more USB stuff we put on our computers, the more power we actually need for that. So I found with my Ursa Minor joystick, for example, my Wing Ursa Minor joystick, it constantly disconnects if it's not plugged directly into the PC. The same with the Wing MCDUs. They need to be plugged directly into the computer, as does the FCU. It works better if it's plugged directly in the computer. You know, so I use TP-Link hubs, by the way. TP-Link, which was suggested to me. But again, not everything is perfect. One hub is pretty good, and one hub might be underpowered, and I think I've got one that's underpowered, so I'll be looking into that later on. But there you go, guys. I really hope you like this review. Support Rowsfire, as I said, and let's keep flying and making the skies a happy place for us. So from me to all of you, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Stay frosty. Bye for now.